Hi, my name is Christy Beck, and I'm an alienated mom.
What advice you would give target parents, and as far as being involved in the schools and making an effort to know their friends' parents and things like that?
Um, as a target parent, first of all, know that you're a target parent. Learn what we go through. As a target parent, that you're going to have to be strong and somehow give yourself some energy by exercising or doing something that you love to do. Don't give up your own life. Like if you do art, do art. If you like to, do patchwork, do something for yourself that reminds you that you're alive and you're okay and that you're a functioning person first. Yes, you're a parent, but you have to be yourself first. And as a target parent, if you understand that the environment that is created for you is not your fault. It's not your fault. You didn't create this. It's not due to you that your child is not wanting to see you. It's due to the other parent. And if you just read up what's on YouTube today or just listen to the videos on your ride to work, on your way back to, it all gave me energy.
And in my life and in my experiences, parental alienation is very real, very alive, and something that affects me to this day.
Knowing what you know now and what you've been through, what would you say to kids who are going through this?
I would say to kids that are going through this now, that they've got to stand up. At some point, you've got to understand that it's not you, and that you deserve to have a relationship with both parents, regardless of what they say about each other.
I mean, what you're doing with Bubbles for Love is just like, on a huge, huge scale. But can anybody do a Bubbles of Love awareness event?
Well, yes, you can. I'm actually doing multiple throughout the year now. Almost the major event is April 25th, but anyone can do it. As I explained to a young lady in North Carolina, she went to a store and had a flyer and started Bubbles for Love there. City near the Georgia line. Lady and her mom said, "I heard about this. Can we do it over here?" And they actually just got some butcher board paper and wrote Bubbles for Love, Parental Alienation, and went to the store, got Bubbles, and went to the park, and people just start walking up to them, and so the following year reached out to their city leaders, to the city council. So anyone can do this, not just on April 25th. In fact, here in Alabama, people was asking me to be in their cities, and I said, I can't do that. I can't be everywhere. So we started doing Parental Alienation Prevention Week. So we start from that Saturday to the Sunday. And because the 25th just don't work out for some people all the time. So we started doing a Parental Alienation Prevention Week, and then Awareness Day still on the 25th.
Joanne asked my mom to speak at the State House for a Bubbles to Love event. She was telling my mother about it. They thought that I possibly had parental alienation. They thought that was the situation. And, it was, I think, ended up determined that we had been alienated from my mom. I have. I mean, that's what would happen. It was every little thing that matched up with parental alienation was my life. I was the face of parental alienation.
The other thing that helped me is that she had made the decision to come to my high school graduation. So it meant a lot to me, like she hadn't forgotten me type thing. But it also allowed her to see that it wasn't my decision. That I'm not the one who decided that I didn't want her in my life.
About the graduation thing, because it sounds like that really made an impression upon you. That she went to the effort to find out about your graduation, and she showed up, right? Even though you had basically rejected her for many years. So a lot of alienated parents, they don't go to graduations and things like that because they're afraid to. Because they feel like, well, my kid says they don't want me there, they don't want to see me. And I get asked this all the time. Should I go to a graduation? What should I do? Should I show up? So should alienated parents keep trying, and should they come to special events like graduations?
I think alienated parents should absolutely go. Even if you don't get the opportunity to talk. Your kid sees you. They see you there. In my case, it had been so long since I had seen her. It really took me a minute to even remember who she was. But to me, it was kind of like, okay, well, it's been, so many years, and she didn't forget I existed. She cared enough to fly here all the way from California. And then when I found out that she had called the school, it was like, okay, so she kept track, what year I was supposed to graduate, kept up with, what school I was going to, that type of stuff. So it meant a lot to me when I had some time to myself to really think about it, and what it would take. So I did have an issue with my dad. My dad immediately blamed me that she was there, and my mom and I have talked about that, and she's told me, if I knew that he was going to get mad at you, I wouldn't have gone. And my response to her is, why not? He got mad at me. He got over it. You got to see it. Like, it meant more that she was there than the fact that he thought I had sent her an invitation. I could easily prove I hadn't sent an invitation. I just knew at that time that it was not the right time to tell him that I did want to have dinner with her and I did want to talk to her. But it meant a lot to me that she was there.
So you think alienated parents should go to graduations, and even if they're afraid to, it means a lot to the kids.
It does mean a lot to the kids. I do think that alienated parents should go to special events, graduations, things like that.
What would you say to an alienated parent who is thinking of just giving up?
I've said before in some of the meetings that I've gone to that even if you feel like giving up, I can promise you your kid is thinking about you. If they're old enough where they remember you and they've done things with you before, they think about you, even if they don't want to. I remember things would happen or somebody would say something and it would instantly remind me of my mom. Even if I hadn't talked to her in years, I would instantly start thinking about her. And so I said, don't give up hope. It might take some time, but I think just keep reaching out there and keep showing up, and they're going to keep thinking about you until, hopefully they can decide for themselves.
What do alienated kids need, from their targeted parents?
I think that's a great example. The example that you gave of your child now who is an adult looking back saying, I can't believe in effect that you still love me even though it was so horrible to you. I think that's very important that that parents continue to show their kids that they love them, value them, even if they're setting limits, even if they're doing what's called planned ignoring, that there are opportunities verbally and behaviorally to show and to say that even though you hate me, I still love you. The only problem is I would just caution folks on, you wouldn't want to do it every time a child says that you hate me, I love you, because now you may get into a situation where you're there all afternoon saying that back and forth, and all that is reinforcing.
If you're a parent and you're going through parental alienation, do not ever give up until you have your child back in your arms. Until you are able to hear from your child, and your child, not what your ex-spouse or your mother-in-law or your father-in-law or whoever it may be, or even your own mother or father, whoever is alienating you from your child, don't hear their voice behind your child. Hear your child's voice, because it took my mother hearing my voice to give her the energy to continue to fight. When she knew my own child knows that I'm doing right, when she found out that I believed in her, it gave her the energy. I promise to all of these parents that are going through this out there that your kids do love you. There's not a child out there that is mentally right in the head that does not love you. Your kids love you. They are fighting for you behind the scenes. Even if they don't know that they're fighting for you, they are fighting for you. They are supporting you. They are pulling for you. Because I know whenever I was in my situation, behind the scenes, I always knew that I was going to end up back with my mom. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I knew it. I just knew it. It was in my heart. It was in my soul. And I was not going to stop. Even if I didn't know that I was doing anything, I was not going to stop before I was back with her. And if you're a parent and you feel like you're going to give up, you pull out those paintings that your kids used to draw. Pull out those notes that they used to write. Pull out whatever you have that belongs to them, that old stuffed animal that they used to cuddle with, or that blanket, and look at that and remember that was my baby. One time that person relied on me, and one day they're going to rely on me again. They're going to need me again. And when I needed my mom again is when I realized that something was wrong. When I started needing a woman in my life, I realized something's wrong here. I mean, someday to each person who goes through this, there is going to be a revolution in your head that's going to say something is wrong with my situation. And when I had that, and when I realized that, my whole life went from going on a downward slope to going on an upward slope. And it'll happen it might take 10 years. I mean, it's taken my mother with my brothers. It still hasn't happened, but my brother was in 2nd grade. My brother's in 11th, so it's almost been 10 years since this has gone on. But I can still tell that my brother loves my mom.
Morning, everybody. It's my great pleasure to be here with you this morning representing the 14 cities that are declaring this Parental Alienation Awareness and Bubbles of Love Day. And I have a short proclamation that I'm going to read that all of the 14 cities signed off on. Whereas Parental Alienation Awareness Day is celebrated to spread the simple message that children need to and should be allowed to give and receive the love of both their parents and extended families, and whereas behaviors such as speaking negatively about a parent to or in front of a child can destroy the bond between a loving parent and child, and whereas with awareness comes education, understanding, and the power to stop the abuse on innocent children caught in the crossfire of the people they love, and whereas this year is the 8th annual Parental Alienation Awareness Day, and people around the world will join together in blowing bubbles for 10 minutes at 12 noon on April the 25th, 2013, to show their support in spreading the simple message of love for all children. Now therefore, April 25th, 2013 is hereby proclaimed Parental Alienation Awareness and Bubbles of Love Day in North Texas. Thank you.
My name is Wendy Archer. I am a victim of what many call the most corrupt family court case in the history of Tarrant County, Texas.
My name is Wendy Archer, and I'm your host for Bubbles of Love Day DFW. I'd like to tell you a little bit about today and about today's event. Parental Alienation Awareness Day was created and is supported by Parental Alienation Awareness Organization. The mission of Parental Alienation Awareness Organization is to educate the public and professionals about the prevention of and responses to parental alienation. Hi, my name is Wendy Archer, and I would like to welcome you to Bubbles of Love Day DFW. If you're not familiar with parental alienation, the fact that it's a global epidemic might surprise you. You might think, that could never happen to me. I'm a great parent. I have a wonderful relationship with my kids. Alienated parents must be nothing like me. Your next thought might be, what did those parents do to deserve to be alienated from their children? The answer is, they did nothing to deserve to be alienated from their children. Being a parental alienation awareness advocate is a true labor of love. It's very emotionally draining to put ourselves in situations where we are faced with the reality of our own pain. Experts call parental alienation the ultimate hate crime because it is. When you brainwash a child to hate the other parent, you let that child know they should hate half of themselves. My name is Wendy Archer, and I want to welcome you to the 3rd annual Bubbles of Love Day DFW and the 8th annual International Parental Alienation Awareness Day. We're so glad that you're here with us today. At this very moment, people are literally gathering all around the world. As we gather here in Southlake, Texas, people are also gathering in Ohio, Illinois, Georgia, Alabama, California, Florida, Minnesota, North Carolina, Connecticut, Mississippi, and many other states. They are gathering in Canada, Costa Rica, the Czech Republic, Finland, Lithuania, Portugal, Tunisia, and Poland. You see, parental alienation is not about one person or one family. Parental alienation is an epidemic causing families unbearable pain and suffering all around the world.